Let us move on to the topic, the early people, from gathering food to growing food. When he came down, he didn't know anything, children. We wonder about him when we understand about his life, our forefathers or ancestors, how they lived long ago, thousands of years ago, how they lived. If we know it, it is very interesting, children, because today we are living in a very sophisticated life, right? We have everything. We have all we are using technology. We have all the facilities today. But in the beginning, when he came down, he didn't know anything. You will be wondered. He was leading a nomadic life. Nomadic means roaming here and there without knowing anything. He didn't even know to quench his thirst. He didn't even know how to fill his stomach. He didn't know anything, children. It is surprising for us. But as a social animal, as a social being, he started one after the other by experiencing himself on this earth. When he started his life, when he didn't know anything, he was plucking whatever he found, like grass, vegetables, fruits. Whatever he found, he might have plucked, gathered and eaten. When he ate, he might have felt different tastes. Then he understood, okay, this is going to fill my hungry, so I can eat this. If it is sour taste, he might have felt that this is not eatable. This way, he separated the things which is good and which is not good. When he felt that it is dangerous or poisonous, he might have away from that. So he went on experimenting. When he drank water, he might have felt that this is going to quench my thirst, started drinking water. When he found caves, he might have stayed under a tree and felt that, okay, these caves and trees are going to protect me from the hot sun. From rain, he might have saved from rain in the caves, from dangerous animals too. In this way, he started his life. He didn't know anything. Everything was something experimental basis. When he felt that risk from dangerous animals, he might have hid in the caves, protected himself, and then thought that, okay, this is going to save me. So this way, he started his life. The basic needs are food, water and shelter. So, he collected food, moving in groups from place to place. Wherever he found water, staying there and filling his stomach with water and food, and staying himself safe, staying in the caves. For some time they stayed there. When they felt that there is no water or there is no food, then moved from place to place. Moving place to place is called nomadic life, children. Moving from place to place is called nomadic life. So, he kept on moving from place to place. When he started plucking things, food items like vegetables, fruits, and started eating, after some time, some thousands of years later, when he thought that to tame the animals or to protect the animals from dangerous animals, he took the stones and rubbed each other and made sharp objects and hunted with those stones and took the flesh of it, started eating raw. This was his lifestyle. It took thousands of years to change himself from one lifestyle to another lifestyle. We can say that only human being was the perfect creation by God, because only he can think, only he can understand, or only he can create something. So it is something special, human being, compared to other animals. He went on doing experiments. He started hunting, and then he started his new life, children. We can say that nomadic life was something moving in groups from place to place. Okay? That was called, later on, people lived in caves. And then that period was called as Old Stone Age, because when he started using the stones and killing the animals, hunting them, eating flesh of it, this life was called as nomadic life, children. Thousands of years ago, long ago, children, he started from thousands of years ago. People lived by collecting fruits, flowers, honey, wild grains, edible tubers and roots that grew naturally in the forest. Whatever he found, he started eating and satisfying his hunger. They did not grow any crop or raise any animal. If you were sent to a forest, would you be able to find edible food there? You need to know what food is edible, where it grows, and when it is available. In the beginning, as I told you, in the beginning he didn't know anything. You may also need to know how to eat it. Can it be eaten raw? Does it have to be cooked or pounded or ground with something else or soaked in water? These were the experiments he did by himself, because he didn't know anything. In the beginning he started eating raw. Later on, when he found fire, he started cooking. Even to hunt, the hunters need to know the hunted animal very well. Where does it spend different parts of the day? Where does it eat or drink water from? In what way is it dangerous? What are the uses of its parts? The earliest people over many generations had learnt about all these things and taught them to their children. What he learned in his life, it was taught to his children or family members. So this way, he started his life from gathering to growing. Today we use machines. As we all know that we have so many machinery for everything, for growing, for harvesting, for rice mills we have, for everything, for extracting oil mills we have. For everything we use machinery today. But in those days, no machinery, nothing. Initially, large stones were given sharp edges by chipping them with another stone. This tool enabled them to cut flesh, dig the earth for tuber and hunt animals. Today we use machinery, but in those days there were no machinery, nothing. What he did, he sharpened two stones together and made them very sharp and used it for killing the animals. After thousands of years, they were able to make small short pieces from hard stone. With big stones, he made it sharp and small stones and used it for sharp pieces from hard stone. Used it for killing animals. They were called microliths. This stone age, old stone age, the people who were using those stones for killing animals or hunting, for taming, this system was called as microliths. The stones which were used, they were called microliths. They were fixed to wooden or bone handles that were served as knives, arrows, sickles. These weapons were used to dig soil, chop trees for bark, remove the skin of animals, clean the skins, make cloths from the skin, cut meat and bones. When these type of sharp-edged stones were again weapons used to dig soil, chop trees for bark, remove the skin of animals, and he used these stones for removing the skin of the animals, for cutting, chopping, for cutting, clean the skins, make cloths from the skin. To protect himself, he used the skin of the animal as a cloth. To cut the meat and bones, he used these sharp stones. You can see here in the book it is given these things, the stones which he used. Okay, you can see it in the textbook, children. If you have, you can see it. These stone tools of the early people have survived to this day, and we can learn much about their lives by studying their tools and the locations where they were found. When excavations take place, when researchers go to place, and when they dug the place, they might have found certain things which early man used. With those tools, today we can do research and we can find out at what age these people lived. And where they lived, all these things we can find out, children. Then later he found or invented fire. The discovery of fire by the early people brought about great changes in their lives. This is something special, children. When he didn't know anything, he started gathering food and all. After finding or inventing fire, then he started cooking and eating. It brought many changes in his life, children. Fire enabled them to eat roasted meat. This was the beginning of the cooked food. He was eating flesh raw. When he found or he invented fire, then he started cooking on the fire and ate. For this cooking, he had to invent pots. So he started inventing pots or pottery, cookery items. They also used it to fire to keep off wild animals and to light the caves. Wood was often heated on fire to harden it for use. So he used firewood and he started cooking food in the rice pot or with the bowl or whatever he created by himself. Then this nomadic life continued. He started moving from place to place. Wherever he found food, water, he stayed there for a long time. And then again, if there is no food and water, he moved from place to place. This was called as nomadic life. The earliest people used to live in small groups in their caves under the trees or rocks. They did not build houses. Actually, they led a mobile life, constantly moving from one place to another. People who regularly move from place to place are called nomads. As I told you that people who move from place to place are called as nomads. ఒక చోటు నుండి ఇంకొక చోటికి తిరుగుతూ ఉండేవాళ్ళు. ఎప్పుడు వాళ్ళు ఒక గ్రూప్గా ఫామ్ అయ్యి తిరుగుతూ ఉండేవాడు. When archaeologists are people who study a past by digging up old places where people lived and taking out remains of their lives like tools, bones, pots, buildings, etc. Archaeologists are the people who study about the past. Archaeology is a department, the researchers who do research on the things which were used by our ancestors. Archaeologists have recovered a large number of stone tools from the caves from Kurnool district. There are hundreds of caves in Kurnool district near Betamcherla and Banaganapalli. You might have heard Belum caves. If you go there, you can see the caves. Okay, so how he lived his life and all, you will understand. Animal bones, stone tools, especially microliths and also tools made of bones have been found in them. Tools made of bones are found early in these caves in the entire Indian subcontinent. Wherever these researchers, archaeologists went on doing research, they found certain things. Microliths means the instruments which were made of stones. They did research and they written in the documents that these stones belong to the particular age. Then later on, the paintings, wherever he lived, there he started leaving his footprint. The early people drew pictures of animals and hunting scenes on the walls of many caves and rock shelters. As I told you that, as a social being, only human being can do wonders. So, he is different from other animals, right? So, he started doing painting on the rock walls by using certain things. They drew pictures of animals and hunting scenes on the walls of many caves and rock shelters. Different color stones were ground and mixed with animal fat. He took some stones and made it powder, color stones and made it powder, and used the animal fat mixed with that powder and made it as painting. Pictures were then painted on rocks with bamboo brushes. He took the bamboo and used it as brush and he painted on the caves. Like these had some religious importance for them. Researchers came to know that by seeing these animals and all, it became little bit important for those people that what they used, how they lived and all. Chintakunta is in Muddanur Mandal of YSR Kadapa district. There are 10 rock shelters near it which have paintings of early people. There are more than 200 paintings. In Chintakunta, in Muddanur Mandal of YSR Kadapa district. That means we are lucky enough to visit the place because in the same district we are all living. We can visit and know about it. There are hundreds of paintings which were painted by those early people in white and red color. Using red color they have painted on the walls. But there are only 10 white paintings. In the red color paintings, humped oxen are found in only one cave, which is locally called Eddula Avula Gundu. In the remaining paintings, we can see pictures of deer, stag, fox, rabbits, birds, human being, etc. He marked his lifestyle by drawing paintings on the walls, on the caves. Whatever animals he found, whatever the way he led, the life he led, all those things were shown on paintings. You can see here these paintings on the walls, children. The stag, cow, bull, all those things we can see here in the painting. The pictures of men with bow, arrow and oxen drawn by the earliest people found in Chintakunta caves in YSR Kadapa district. We can have a study tour and we can visit the place and know much about the place, children. Then from hunting life to gathering in his lifetime. Even now, several groups of people live by hunting and gathering food in different parts of the world. Even today you see people hunting animals and moving from place to place. వాళ్ళనే మనము అడవి మనుషులు అని అంటారు. కోయ జాతి, కొన్ని జాతులు ఉంటాయి. ఆ జాతి వాళ్ళు ఆ అడవులలో ఇప్పటికీ కూడా మనకు కనిపిస్తూ ఉంటారు. In our state, the Yanadis and Chenchus, the group of people, different groups were called by different names. Yanadis, Yanadulu antaru. Chenchus, Chenchulu. Till very recently lived in this manner. Scholars have tried to live among them and understood their lives. Researchers go there and they stay with them and they try to understand the lifestyle of those people. Even today you can see, if you go to Nalamala forest, the deep into the forest, if you go, you will see the people, they are living without having clothes on their body. They don't cover clothes, okay? Having a big stick, moving from place to place, hunting animals, satisfying themselves, and they keep on moving like this. They are all called as nomadic people, and different people called with different names like Yanadis, Chenchu, Koya, Kondareddy, all these things. Scholars have tried to live among them and understood their lives. From many such studies done all over the world, historians try to imagine the lives of people who lived in the forests thousands of years ago. Even today you can see, but the lifestyle, how it was in the beginning and how it is today. Because today you don't see so many people extinguished, those groups. You don't see those people today because he is little bit civilized. He is little bit when he educated, he changed his lifestyle. Today you see using technology for everything. Then they had a lifestyle. When they were moving together, they used to share the food, whatever they had with them. That is a very good habit, we can say, and we should learn from them that sharing is very important. Today, sharing, we don't find sharing, right? Those people, they were sharing and living together. We saw that early people lived in small groups and led a nomadic life. It appears that women and men both participated in hunting and gathering. Not only men, even women were going for hunting animals. They collected animals and they ate together, sitting together, and they were sharing it. The food was shared among all the people. Women and children were more active in food gathering and hunting of small animals. Hunting large animals may have taken many days of tracking to distant places. This was probably done mostly by men. Men used to go for long distance and hunt big animals, and ladies and small children, kids, used to hunt small animals like rabbit and all. They share it with other people. They live together. Hunter-gatherers shared the food they collected with all the members of the group. Whatever they hunted, it was shared among the groups. There wasn't much scope for storage of food as it consisted mainly of perishable things like meat, fish, fruits, leaves, tubers, and small quantities of wine. As the food consisted mainly of perishable things like meat, fish, you can't keep it for a long time. You cannot store it. Immediately you have to eat it and throw it otherwise, right? You cannot keep it for next day or 2 days. The food whatever he gathered, he has to finish it as early as possible. Today we have fridge and all. We can keep it in the fridge, refrigerator, and you can use it next day. But in those times when there were no fridge and all, he had to eat it immediately and he had to leave it. Grains and pulses which we eat today do not perish so quickly. We also have jars and tins to store them for months. Perishable and non-perishable అంటే ఏంటివి? తొందరగా చెడిపోయేటివి, పాడైపోయేటివి, కొంతకాలం నిల్వ ఉండేటివి. పల్సెస్ అండ్ ఆల్ యూ కెన్ కీప్ ఇట్ ఫర్ లాంగ్ టైం, రైట్? కొంతకాలం వరకు మనము నిల్వ పెట్టుకోగలుగుతాం. So grains and pulses which we eat today do not perish so quickly. Perishable అంటే ఏంటి? పాడైపోయేటివి, తొందరగా పాడవుతుంది. Non-perishable పాడవకుండా ఉండేటివి. Grains and all non-perishable. So you can keep it for a long time, you can collect it, gather it and keep it in one place and you can use it after some time. కానీ meat, flesh, fish ఇవన్నీ కూడాను you cannot keep it for long time because it is perishable. తొందరగా పాడైపోతుంది. So as there were no storage facility, he couldn't keep it for long time. But the earliest people did not keep storage as it would be difficult to carry them around as they migrate from place to place. As they were nomads, they couldn't carry it with them. Wherever they used to go, they hunted animals there itself. They were eating together, sharing it with other people and leave the rest. Since they shared all the food and had free access to the resources of the forest, hunter-gatherers did not have rich, poor class among them. This thing is very important. We should notice that there was no difference that rich, poor, haves and have-nots. Today you see people, rich people and poor people. The gap is existing between people, between human beings. But in early days, there were no such gap. There were no rich and poor. All were equal. All were fighting for the survival. All were fighting for the food, water, whatever they were getting to survival or to live or lead a life. They shared everything. They enjoyed their life. But today, we are not like that. Because we have learnt so much that made man to behave in a different way. It is unfortunate, children. Since they shared all the food and had free access to the resources of the forest, hunter-gatherers did not have rich, poor class among them. They were all equal and treated each other equally. They also took all important decisions by discussing together. As they were giving importance to everybody, men and women, children, everybody, they sit together, they discussed everything and they used to take decisions. Even though they hunted wild animals, hunter-gatherers had a great respect and regard for the forest, the plants and trees, the animals, rivers and hills. They often worshipped them so that they may get enough food all the time. How generous they were, right? Though they were hunting animals, though they were cutting trees, they had respect towards the nature. Today what we are doing, we are all educated. They were uneducated. Today we are leading sophisticated life. In those days, no facility was there. But still, today being an educated person, we cut trees. There is no respect for nature. We misuse water. We misuse food. We don't share with others. We have different haves and have-nots. That is the difference today we see. This is something should be removed, and we should learn how to live a better life. So you can understand how he lived, how he started his life, and how we are today, right? The difference you can see from gathering food to growing food. Now next topic will be growing food. We will see. Okay, children.